Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Well, I'm making fun because our guest's name is Glenda, and she's a good witch. I know that. And she has got a whole book about enchiladas, and we are going to be celebrating Cinco de Mayo with a good witch. Stay tuned as we show you how to make enchiladas for Cinco de Mayo here on Mark Alyn's Culinary Adventures. Our guest is Glenda Calvin Garcia. She has written a book, and I'll show it to you. Why don't we take a look at the book right now? There's the book, La Enchilada Completa, or The Whole Enchilada. I hope my accent wasn't too bad. We're going to go to Orange County, and we're going to visit with none other than Glenda Garcia. How are you, Glenda?
Wonderful. So great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. We met at Melissa's a couple of months ago now,
hmm
and this is perfect timing. Uh, I have enjoyed this book tremendously. We're going to go
Wonderful.
take a look at the Melissa Cam right now. If you look at over here, we have not one, not two, but we have three different kinds of peppers. We have yellow peppers, we have Fresno peppers. Those are my favorite, and
I love
they are
those.
hotter, actually hotter, I believe, than the jalapenos that we also have over there. We've got some avocados, which we may put into the enchilada today. We top it, and
hmm
limes. We've got tomatoes. Tomatillos. So we've got all kinds of great stuff. We're going to be
Wonderful.
making enchiladas today. Uh, very quickly, you told me that you started cooking professionally at the age of 2 because you've been doing this for over 30 years.
I got an
Started
early
cooking.
start. What can I say?
Yeah, I guess. You worked with your mom, huh? You learned from your mom?
And grew up with the most amazing pan dulce. And my grandmother was also an amazing cook and taught my mother to cook really well. And so we all cooked together. I'm the youngest of three girls. And we all, cooked dinner together. But when I actually moved out of the house, I was a terrible cook. I was scrambling. I was calling my mom, Mom, how do you make this? Mom, how do you make enchiladas? And so later, became a professional chef, cooking with a number of different restaurants. I'm executive chef at Granville Cafe in LA. We have 5 locations. So I've done
I've
a
been
lot of
to the
things.
one in Burbank, numerous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's our very first one.
yeah.
So we'll be there. It'll be 20 years this September that we opened. So
Oh my goodness. Well, we ought to go over there and cook with them or do something, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um, it's food like, I mean, you have a son
I do. Yep.
and
Teenage son
you,
who tested all the recipes with me.
he
In this
did.
cookbook.
So
Oh my
he
goodness.
did. Yeah.
Does he want to cook or does he want to be an engineer or
He
something
wants
else?
to be in sports medicine, I think. That's what
Oh,
he's
cool.
gravitating toward. But as long as he knows how to, feed himself when he goes off to college, I'll be happy. I don't expect him to pursue cooking professionally. I think for a moment he thought he might want to do that, but no, it's not really his thing,
It
which is
is.
totally
It
fine.
is. Yes, absolutely. And of course, that's what our show is all about. Our show is all about getting people into the kitchen. Uh, and you can be, a candlestick maker, a bread maker, whatever you are, but you need to be able to cook. So when your son does go off to college, I think being able to cook, and of course that'll help with with attracting other people, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
It right? How do you think I got Carol? It ain't my good looks. Okay, um, we're going to start. We're going to start by making um, the enchilada sauce. We're going to be making enchiladas,
Perfect.
cheese and chicken enchiladas, right? And this is a staple, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, enchiladas have such a long history in Mexican cuisine. It started out with the Mayan and the Aztec, and I put actually in my book a little bit of, some history footnotes, and they were referred to as chila pizzales. They weren't called enchiladas. That's the Nahua word for tortillas that were dipped in chili sauce and then stuffed with a number of things. It could be fish, it could be beans. They obviously evolved quite a bit, and what we know now as enchiladas, or kind of more of a product, with especially with chicken or cheese. That's a product of the Spanish ingredients coming over after the conquest. So yeah, they've definitely evolved, but it's such a iconic dish. And you have that saying, the whole enchilada, and that became the title of my book and my consulting company. So yeah, it's pretty iconic.
So you consult with other restaurants? Do you consult with people who say, "Hey, I want to do a party, but I want to do the cooking"? I mean, all of the above.
I typically do menu development. So for restaurant chains, I'll come in and revise their menu. I'll do limited time only. So I'm kind of like a corporate chef for hire. So that's typically what I do.
Got
I
it.
also do food styling. I did the food styling in the book as well. So
Beautiful.
I wear a lot of different hats.
Got it. All right. 30 years, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, neither can I. All right, we're going to start. We have a pot back here. And tell me what you want me to do first.
Okay, so to get started on the enchilada sauce, you want to get your ingredients with the skillet. So I'm going to refer to the cookbook. So basically what you're going to do, you're going to add the vegetable oil to the pan and basically make a roux. You're going to add flour and chili powder. So it's really like a seasoned roux.
Okay. So I'm
going to get
heating the pan a little bit. Yeah. Should I get it hot first?
Perfect.
And then
wait a little bit, and then put.
What I'm going to use is hyaluronic sunflower oil. All right, I'm going to add how much oil?
Well, the full recipe is, let's see, 3 tablespoons of oil. And I think if you're making a half batch, you can do 1.5 if you like.
Got it. When you cook for yourself, do you measure, or is it?
No, I hate measuring. I mean, I'll measure when I'm baking, obviously, like for cakes and things like that.
Right.
But yeah, especially, for dinner during the week, you can rarely like duplicate whatever you do because you just kind of throw it together. So,
Got it.
yeah, I know. I think a lot of our ancestors or parents and grandparents are kind of notorious for that. So that's why a lot of recipes don't get documented, because nobody has it written down. They just all in their heart and their head. So yeah, it's been challenging. But yeah, one of the recipes that I spent years and years perfecting was my mother's tamales recipes. And yeah, I mean, we would take video, I would take notes, and every year it was somewhat different, but I think we've got it down. So yeah, my mother passed 3 years ago. So we're really grateful to have that documented. So
Absolutely. I wish I had some of my mom's and grandmother's recipes. That would be great.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm going to add some the flour now to the oil. I have a whisk. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
And
then you can also add the chili powder.
Okay. And let me find the chili powder. There, chili powder. And how much chili? Ooh.
So it calls for 4 tablespoons of chili powder.
So maybe we'll do 2. Because it's only Carol and me.
Okay.
Oop. This is a brand new bottle. 1. Come on. It's a little stuck. There. There's nothing worse than stuck chili powder. Okay.
So you definitely want to start whisking that, and you want to do that constantly for about 30 seconds, and it's going to thicken into a paste.
Celery then. Okay. Yeah.
So you'll realize just how simple it is to make your own enchilada sauce.
And it smells good already.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So that's a good sign. So you're really bringing out the flavors and the oils that are present in the chili powder. And so now you want to add your garlic powder, which is 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of onion powder. So even though chili powder has other seasonings like cumin and other ingredients, you're adding a little bit more to that.
Got it.
Because you want it to be not so one-dimensional. You want to complement the chili flavors.
And you modernized a little bit then.
A little bit. And then, I've also had some friends of mine who have tried this recipe and they ended up using ancho chili powder.
Right.
And it came out a lot hotter. And because that's just straight chili powder, whereas the chili powder is more of a blend of seasonings. So for that reason, you could end up creating a much hotter salsa or enchilada sauce. And if that were the case, I would bump up the cumin and the onion powder just to kind of complement that. So you want to do that quickly because it's starting to clump up a little bit.
It is a little bit, yes. It is clumping.
And then you can now add your tomato paste. That'll help smooth it out.
And I may put in
It calls for 4 tablespoons.
So 2.
Yep.
Add just a little bit more because I think I'm stuck now.
Yeah, when I was developing this recipe, I hadn't actually done an enchilada sauce like this. Normally, when I make enchilada sauce from scratch, I use dried chilies, which you hydrate and then you blend, and it's much more involved. You might want to turn down your heat a little bit. And but for this book, it's really geared toward middle grade, and I thought, well, I've got to be able to do a simple enchilada sauce that kids and preteens can approach. So that's how I came up with this recipe. And at the time, when I was developing the recipes, my mother had just passed away a few months prior. And she would normally be the one that I would call, like, what do you think about this? Or what should I add to this? And I was just really kind of raw, emotional, and upset that I couldn't just call on the phone. And so then I kind of put myself in my mother's kitchen. I'm like, okay, my mom was so good at whipping up things at a moment's notice. She was so fast in the kitchen. And I was kind of putting myself in her kitchen. I'm like, okay, what would she do? What would she have in the pantry? I'm like, she would have tomato paste, of course. I'm like, I'll add that rather than like tomato sauce. And so, you might want to add slowly add the chicken broth or vegetable broth, whatever you're using.
We're using some chicken broth. What? Yeah.
I would start to, you want to start to whisk that quickly to kind of smooth it out.
Okay.
And then once it starts to get smoother and smoother, you'll gradually add more broth.
You tell me when.
Yep. You can start adding.
I'm trying to spill it into the pot. Mark, down on the stove.
So it's coming together.
Yeah.
And then you'll just continue adding more and more broth till you get the right consistency. So, of course, when it's hot, it'll be a little bit thinner than when it cools down.
Right. Well, what is food to you? Because your book is really, it's more than a cookbook. you have a lot of history in the book, and you also have brought in some contemporary people that are Hispanic, Latinos in particular.
Mhm.
And I thought that was
Yes.
a really interesting concept.
Thank you so much. Yes, to give you some background, I actually majored in Chicano Latino studies in college. And I remember my first class at Cal State Long Beach. And I remember just being so blown away by this history and really kind of upset that I didn't know this information growing up. And I thought, I would have had just a different perspective on my culture and my sense of self-worth and my place in the world had I known this amazing history. And so it kind of became my mission to teach kids and teach other and adults too, other folks about our history, because I thought it was so, so important. And
I agree.
it's the book that I wish I had when I was growing up. So that's why I kind of made this hybrid of a cookbook / history book that has profiles of artists and scientists and then trailblazers and texts about, the Mayan and Aztec culture. So that looks really good. So I would not add any more broth. So is it all smooth now?
It is smooth
Looks like it is.
as a
Beautiful.
baby's bottom.
It looks beautiful. Nice sheen on that. Oh, and so then we also need to add some salt. Typically, it's 1 teaspoon of salt and just a tiny little pinch of sugar.
Okay.
And the sugar will just kind of help round out the chili notes.
Okay. I'm going to do a little bit less salt. I don't cook with a lot of it, only because,
I'm the same way.
yeah, we're not salt people. Some people
I am a salt person, but health-wise, I had to kind of cut back a little bit.
What I haven't added is the cumin. And
Oh, you added that.
No, let's add that, then I'll add the sugar. And how much of the cumin?
It calls for 1/2 teaspoon. That's plenty. So it already has, probably some of that from the chili powder. So, and then you might want to just, after stirring that for a little bit, sample it and see how the flavor is.
I'm going to add the sugar in there.
Might want to reduce the heat a little bit. I see it's bubbling, so.
Yes. Okay. So how much sugar? There's like a 1/4 of a teaspoon.
Oh, yeah, that's more than enough. Yeah,
All
don't
right.
need any more.
Got it. Okay.
Actually,
I'm gonna-
for just 1/8 of a teaspoon for a full batch. So that's plenty.
Well, where we don't eat salt, we eat sugar.
Exactly.
You
Some
introduced
kind
me
of
to-
ice.
Yes, exactly. You introduced me to a friend who's the mole queen, and sometime in June we hope to have her on.
Oh, that's exciting. Oh, her mole is fantastic too. And it's so easy. She
Well,
does
I'm
it-
hoping that we can do a chocolate mole because there are different kinds of moles, and she had a very fast one, but it wasn't chocolate. So I have to talk to her, but I'm
Okay.
sure I can convince her. I hope.
Perfect. So you might want to just try it and see how the seasonings are, if it needs any more salt or anything. It looks beautiful.
All right.
And I've had friends that now make this enchilada sauce and will not go back to a can. So
Yeah, well, canned stuff is canned stuff, right? All right, here we go.
yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. And that was so easy. No, that is really nice. And it's not
So
too hot.
simple.
Yeah, it's very simple. Oh, really? Oh, that's going to be great.
You're not frying them, you're blanching them in oil. And what
Okay.
you want to do, you're not getting them crispy. What you're doing is just kind of searing it so you can fold the tortillas and it's not going to fall apart, and it's going to give it better flavor. It's not, when you bake it, it's not going to just break down. So it'll hold its shape.
Are we going to roll these, kind of?
Yes.
Or we'll roll them. Okay. Now, should we?
So we're going to blanch them in the oil.
These were cooked with an onion, some garlic.
Yep.
I think that was it.
Yeah, I think so.
We're using Trader Joe's organic high oleic sunflower oil. Okay.
Same.
Now,
So you want to get it about like a 1/4 inch depth.
all right.
That looks good.
Well, all right. Carol went, ooh, so I added more. No. I know. No, that'll be fine. So it's going to go like this. And like this. Well, so put it here.
Yep.
And then chicken.
Yeah, about 2 heaping tablespoons.
Like that.
Exactly. That looks wonderful.
Now we're going to stick these in the oven.
And you can top that with your cheese.
Oh, more cheese. And you could stuff these with, or top it with, I guess, avocado.
Yes, once you're finished with that. So it's really nice to finish it with shredded lettuce, sour cream, avocado.
Right. We do have a rather large organic iceberg lettuce. Right here. That's right, wild.
These are fantastic.
Got it. All right. So we're going to wait 30 minutes, and we're going to, through the magic of video, we'll come out and we'll take those out, see how they look. Let's take a look at our enchiladas. We're going to take them out of the oven. Here we go. I'm going to take this one. And I've got, do I put the avocado and the lettuce?
I would do the lettuce first.
Okay. On top.
Yep. And then you can put the sour cream. And then layer the avocado across the enchiladas. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
You did great. I love it.
Hey, listen, this is something that's really easy. And, you don't have to have a lot of skill to do it. And the book shows you step by step. So I encourage you to go to wholeenchilada.com and you'll find out more about Glenda, as well as how to get the book. The book is also available on Amazon.
It is. Yeah. Everywhere books are sold. So yeah, it's wholeenchilada.co.
Got it. All right, here we go. And I've got a fork here.
Mark, do you know where the word enchilada comes from?
I don't.
So it comes from the root word enchilar, which means to season or cover with chili. And so that's why it's called enchilada.
Well, I'm going to cover my mouth with this right now. Yeah. That is, I know it's your recipe, but I do like my own cooking. Here,
So now you know how to make the enchilada sauce and know how easy it is.
it is. It took less than 10 minutes. And I've already determined for dinner, I want more sauce, right?
There you go. Yeah. And
So-
actually, that enchilada sauce, you can use it on chilaquiles. If you're making like a tortilla soup, you can add like a little splash of that sauce just to give it that chili flavor. So it's really quite versatile, and it also freezes well too. So if you make a big batch, you can always just pull it out when you need it. So yeah.
I was thinking it on an egg scramble,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
right? With, avocados and onions in there, and
Mhm.
maybe some mushrooms with the enchilada sauce. I think that'd be delicious. Well, I asked
Yeah.
those a lot, but hey, do you think you'll come back and maybe we'll do something from the menu from Granville? Maybe even do it. And we thank Melissans for their Melissa Cam and their beautiful display that Carol put together. So thank you very much, Carol. Well, excuse me, I got to take one more bite. Well, I'm going to take one more bite. We're going to put you back, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
It was. You're terrific. Thank you very much. Hold on. All right. While I'm stuffing my face here. Good. And looking forward to dinner. I wanted to say thank you to Melissa. Thank you to Glenda for her book. I wanted to show the book one more time. There's some great illustrations in here. A little bit later on, I'm going to be making pico de gallo for Carol and me out of the book. So thank you very much. Next week, we are going to be celebrating Mother's Day, and Robert Schuler from Melissa's is going to give us a recipe and share some secrets in the kitchen with Robert. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.